As we get older in life, we live and we learn. If everyone could just reflect on that very day a child was born, maybe a beautiful son or a daughter was born. And as she grew, the house was filled with smiles and laughter. Stage by stage, as that child grows, then you will enjoy the warmth, the cry, and everything about that baby. And as that baby grows, time after time, it will be in the interest of a single parents or the couple to enroll that child into school. And as that child grows, more and more, some families and individuals enjoy the laughter and the love and enjoy her presence, her his presence in the home. Oh, wonderfully beloved child. Sometimes who we have loved so much, and sometimes the reality struck. The tragedy occurred. Sometimes they killed and murder and massacre their loved ones, families, and friends. But sometimes you have to take the law in your own hands. Many times, waiting on karma and waiting on God for justice. Many times it don't add up. This morning, I would like to demonstrate to you that if you have a loved one that has ever been murdered by an individual, even a police or a bandit, a gunman, though sometimes even the very magicians, they have been overtaken by greed and crave. They don't even know what they're doing. The very magician, the spiritual person, the Wobia man, sometimes all that is in their head is just money. Is just try to rip everything and everyone who comes their way. Well, let me tell you something. I believe that if a loved one or a family has been murdered in your life, you shouldn't let it go like that. I wouldn't take it lightly. No. People need to be punished and they need to be brought to justice. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for everything underneath the sun. So, if somebody has been murdered in your family, contact somebody from your local or the funeral home that your deceased is going to be buried from. No, if you want to take revenge for the deceased, there is many ways you can do this. No, everything we do and we know is a choice. But if you want to get back to the killer who had murdered your loved one, your husband, your son, your daughter, our friend, all right, hear what I want you to do. If you know the name of the person that murdered your loved one, I want you to go. If you feel in your heart that you want to take revenge for what that person had done unto the individual or to your family, find a professional magician, okay? Or a Wobia man. Now, these magician, skilled spiritual man or Wobia man can let the deceased person go back and haunt and destroy the killer who had taken their life. Now, hear what I want you to do now. If you are not going to use a magician, but I would advise you to use a more spiritual person if you are not an adept in doing these things. All right. Gotta go to the doctor shop. You're gonna buy speed, a bottle of speed oil, a bottle of compellence oil, a bottle of must. All right. You can buy curse, a bottle of damnation, a bottle of devil, destroy everything. No, what I want you to do, get a red ink pen that has never been used by anyone, or Dove blood ink pen, okay? All right. Now you're gonna take it home. No, you can do this like 2 or 3 days before the burial of the person. Now, hear what I want you to do now. Ask the undertaker or someone who works at the nursing home to get the deceased clothes or a piece of the clothes that they murder the deceased in. You're going to put it into a bag and you're going to take it home. All right, see if you can get the deceased fingernail, all of the fingernail that is on the deceased, and you're going to ask someone in the funeral home to accumulate the hair, some of the hair on the deceased person. No, you're going to take that home, put it into a small rum bottle when you would have it there to call the deceased, and that the deceased can do your bidding. Now back to the whole story. Now what I want you to do now, you can get a piece of copper sheet the size of about 9 by 9, 10 by 10, or 8 by 8. Now you're going to write, "My son Zachariah Z, you have been murdered by so and so." And here is the kicker. What I want you to do, I want you to go and to kill or to destroy so and so in the time that you have been risen. Now, if they ask you in the funeral home if you want your dead to be halted, or they can do things in order to let the spirit less powerful, you should never let them do that to your spirit, okay? But listen to me now. What I want you to do, you can choose a weapon of your choice. Whether it's a tall machete, you can get a machete, sanded from back to front, sharp like a knife. You can even get an ice pick or a scissors. No, you gonna write what you want the dead to do on a parchment paper, but I would advise you, if you can get a virgin goat kill, or to order the parchment paper, the goat skin parchment paper, that would be best lasting, and it would have more enduring effect and impact. But if not, here what I want you to do. Get the parchment paper. Write your wish of what you would like the deceased person to do. Whether the deceased person know who had done the killing or not. On the day of the burial, you're gonna go to the funeral home and ask, are you gonna pay someone to put the necessary things that you have put together in the casket with the deceased person? No, everybody, every different spiritual person do this thing differently. They have their different strategy and way of how they would do this. Now, what they are doing, they would invoke the deceased person to go back and to murder the killer, the person who had murdered them. Many times we want justice to be done. We want justice to be done. I believe that karma have a way of coming back. So it is just a matter of what you want to do. There are cases, a lot of story and cases that are how different people have done different things. Here is the kicker. What you could also do when you retrieve the ear, the fingernail from the person, the deceased person, you can even create a candle table. A candle table, and from the candle table you can also empower him again. Give him his cigarette, fry fish, ice cream, anything that the deceased love. And you can go and talk to the deceased. Now, when you get the deceased hair or fingernail, put it into a small rum bottle. 3/4 it or half it with rum. Then you, when you have your table, the table with the candle and the food and everything that was set, you're going to sprinkle it, and in the ceremony, you're going to tell the deceased what you want to do. So everybody do this thing differently. Know what? You can also do again. You can also, if the deceased is on the premises that you live, you can also go to the grave. (12:30 to 1) at a night of your choosing, then you could tap whether 3, 5, or 7 times and talk to the deceased and tell the deceased what you want him or her to do. But remember, if you are not experienced enough to do that, you can require the help from an adept major or somebody who is experienced with spiritual things. So there are many ways to hang a dog without putting a rope around his neck, and there are many ways that you can get back to the murderer that killed your loved ones, your family, or your friends.